The road to the Kentucky Derby starts now. It's the G3 Iroquois Stakes, our very first points race for the 2025 Kentucky Derby. Facts and figures, they give you a winning edge. I give you the facts, you make the picks. Hi, it's Maura from Trifecta and a little bit extra, and we are keeping Derby hopes alive for all of the 2-year-olds going a mile on the dirt at Churchill Downs. Now let's look at the number 2 horse, Giocoso, who's trained by Keith DeSormo and will be ridden by James Graham, who, by the way, has been on this horse for all 3 starts. He's by Not This Time, and Not This Time has 4 horses in this race and a 20% win rate for 2-year-olds. Giocoso, he has had 3 starts with 1 win and 1 place. He begins his career here at Churchill Downs, a $120,000 maiden race, 5.5 furlongs on the dirt. And in a field of 10, he was 10th for most of the race. He did improve to 5th at the end, but count that race out. It was his first race. He moves over to Ellis, and he moves to the turf. His second race out is a mile, this distance on the turf. He had a brush start, was mid-pack, but a late surge, and he finishes second, just a neck behind the leader. His third time out is a mile and a 16th on the turf, where he was closer to the lead early on and finishes 6 lengths above everybody else. That's impressive. Now, we know he could go the distance. Don't count him out because of the turf, but look at who he beat in that last race. The horses that went out one more time didn't really improve. Moving on to the number 3 horse, Jack's Time. Jack's Time is trained by Kelly Von Hemmel and will be ridden by our Kentucky Derby and Oaks winning jockey, Brian Hernandez Jr. He's another horse by Not This Time. He's owned by Alba Family Stables, and we know they can get horses to the Kentucky Derby. In his one and only outing at Prairie Meadows, he was in a 5.5 furlong, $34,000 maiden race, and he went to the lead and never looked back. He won by a whopping 10 lengths. What we really don't know is, who is the quality of the horses that he beat? Can he go this distance? And he's going to have to carry a lot more weight at 122 pounds versus the 116 in that race. The number 4 horse, Authentic Strike, he's got a lot going for him. First, he's a $450,000 purchase by Authentic, and we know Authentic won the Kentucky Derby. Second is his trainer, Rudy Broussette. Rudy Broussette has a 26% win rate at Churchill Downs and a 24% win rate for 2-year-olds going dirt routes. He'll be ridden by Luis Saez. In his very first outing, a 7 furlong, $71,000 maiden race, he set the pace and won by a neck. So we know he's got some speed and pace. In fact, he's got some bullet workouts, even going 59 and change for 5 furlongs. The number 5 horse, Owen Almighty, he's our morning line favorite, and deservingly so. He's trained by Brian Lynch, who will be ridden by one of the top riders, Irad Ortiz Jr. He's by Speightstown, who has an 18% win rate with 2-year-olds. This horse has been out 2 times with 2 wins. He was the clear favorite and the clear winner. He begins his career here at Churchill Downs, 5.5 furlongs on the dirt in a $120,000 maiden race, where he showed he can duel and win. He wins by 3. The horses he beat next time out, they all improved, including Owen Almighty. He goes to a $175,000 stakes race at Ellis, 7 furlongs, where he surged to the lead and wins by 4. Very impressive. He's got a lot of speed and a lot of talent, and you can't overlook Owen Almighty. The number 6 horse, Strummin, he's trained by John Hancock and will be ridden by Christian Torres. He's by Flame Away, and it's taken him 6 tries to break his maiden. When he did, it was at this distance at Ellis Park in a $71,000 maiden race. His other tries, he's had 3 places and 1 show. The number 7 horse, Sandman, is trained by Mark Cassie and will be ridden by Jose Ortiz. This is a $1.2 million purchase out of Tappet, and we know Tappet's progeny, they can get the longer distances. His first time out, however, was very disappointing. It was a $120,000 6 furlong race here at Churchill Downs, and in a field of 7, he finishes 5th. His trainer says just strike through it. It was his first time out. He goes on to Saratoga for a 7 furlong race with Dylan Davis aboard, and he safe ground going the inside route and wins by a length and 3/4. We have to see what Sandman can do, and does he prove himself in this race. Moving on to the number 8 horse, Magnitude. He's trained by Steve Asmussen and will be ridden by Tyler Gaffleone. Together, they have a 20% win rate. Also, he's a $450,000 purchase by Not This Time. Magnitude has had 2 starts with 1 win. Strike through his first race. $120,000 maiden race here at Churchill Downs for 5.5 furlongs, where he went really wide, flopped his leads, finished 4th. He goes on to Ellis for a 7 furlong race, $71,000 maiden race, where he sets the pace, driving, finishes ahead of everybody else by 5 lengths. Something to pay attention to. Now let's look at the number 9 horse, Firmus. Firmus is trained by Wayne Contalano and will be ridden by Ricardo Santana Jr. He's out of Curlin, and we know Curlin horses can get the distance. He's only had 1 race, a 6 furlong race at Ellis Park, and he did win by a length and 1/4. However, his speed was one of the slowest that we see in this race. The number 10 horse is Jonathan's Way. He's trained by Philip Bauer, who has a 24% win rate here at Churchill Downs. He'll be ridden by Joel Rosario. He's by Vacoma, who has an incredible 26% win rate for 2-year-olds. However, the average winning distance is between 5 and 6 furlongs. His one and only out, a 6 furlong race at Saratoga. He was bumped, pinched, went wide, and still won by 4? That's insane. He's got one of the best speeds and some super fast workouts, going 47 and change for 4 furlongs and 59 and change for 5 furlongs. Definitely an interesting horse in this race. The number 11 horse, Mesero, he's trained by Dale Romans and will be ridden by Corey Lannery. He's a $535,000 purchase by Not This Time. 1 race, 1 win. At Ellis Park, in his 6 furlong race on a muddy track, he was off slow but rallied and won by a length and 3/4. The number 12 horse, Politically Correct, he's trained by Christopher Davis and will be ridden by Florent Giroux. He's been out 3 times with 2 wins and 1 place. His very first time out was here at Churchill Downs. 5.5 furlongs on the dirt, was bumped at the start but still won by a length and 1/4. He then goes on to a 6 furlong race here at Churchill Downs, where he was off a bit slow, goes 6 wide, and still wins by 5. That's incredible. He then meets up with Owen Almighty, the number 5 horse, at Ellis Park in the $175,000 stakes race. They dueled, and it looked like he may have gotten tired. Comes in second, 4 lengths behind Owen Almighty. What you need to know is he's been increasing his speed and increasing his distance. Definitely a horse you may want to look at closer for this race. That's my summary of the Iroquois Stakes. I can't believe we're already talking about the Kentucky Derby. It starts here at Churchill Downs and ends at Churchill Downs. 2-year-old races, they're extremely difficult to evaluate, but I hope you all sashay away with your money. If you like my channel, like, subscribe, comment, or find me at www.trifectaandextra.com. Cheers!